practice consistency to build a little bit of community. And hopefully, if we practice a bunch and do it together, suffer on the floor, make it a little bit more fun, we can make a whole bunch of progress towards our side split goals. So if that sounds fun, hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back, because we do this every day at 9 p.m. On the weekends, we do this at 9 a.m. as well. I think I just saw Che come in and send in a whole bunch of likes. Thank you, Che. Yes, made it. Lovely. Thank you for the enthusiasm. Oop, I'm going to adjust this camera a little bit. It's a little bit lopsided. And I think it's time. Let's do this. We are starting with 3 warm-up exercises. Then we're going to do 5 stretches. And that's how we're going to wrap up with 3 rounds of side splits. The first warm-up exercise is called the hip cars. We're moving our legs through their full range of motion at that hip. We're using our muscles to do it, so we're building mobility and strength. And it looks like this. We're lifting this knee as high as we can. We're opening it up directly to the side as wide as we can while keeping the knee high. We're going to rotate that leg so it hits horizontal first. And we're going to try our best to point that knee down, lift the ankle up, really rotate here at the hip. You should feel it in that hip right there. And then we're going to bring the leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, pull this leg back behind you. Try to keep the back straight, but if you bend forward a little bit, it's okay. And that is 1 rep. We are going to do 10 of those on the left side, 10 of those on the right side. Then we're going to reverse the whole thing and do 10 on the left and 10 on the right. Let's get started. Make sure there's nothing behind you to accidentally kick, like a table. And we're going to go. High knee. Open up directly to the side. Lift that knee high. Rotate the leg so that it's horizontal first. And then lift that ankle up as high as you can bring it. Bring the leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes. Pull this leg behind you. And that's 1. And 2. And 3. 4. 5. 6. Let's slow down one more time for form. High knee, open that hip. Rotate the leg. Bring that ankle up. Down and back. 7. 8. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. 9. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. 10. Whew. Those are hip cars. We just finished left side. Let's go ahead and switch over to the other side. If you finished the right side and have done the opposite leg, that's totally okay. You can just ignore what I say. Let's go. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. High knee. Open up. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 2. High knee. Open up. Ankle up. Down and back. 3. 4. 5. 6. High knee. Open up. Ankle up. Down and back. 6, I think. 7. 8. 9. 10. And I can't remember if I started at 1 or if I started at 0. So yellow and maybe still 10. Okay, whew. That's hip cars. On the other leg, we have done going forward, 10 reps each. Now we're gonna do going backwards. It's the same positions that we're gonna end up at, but hitting them in reverse order feels really different. So let's look at it. We're gonna bring the leg down and back, flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes. This is the first part. We're gonna stretch out that hip flexor right here. Then we're gonna lift directly to the side. Like we're in martial arts, we're gonna go whoosh, give a little kick. But we're not actually gonna kick anybody. We're going to focus on this leg. Try to get the knee and the ankle to horizontal first. And then try your best to rotate the leg bone so that the ankle is up and the knee is down. You should feel it here in the side of your hip right here. As you rotate, 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 rotate. Whew. From here, do the exact opposite. Bring that knee high, ankle down, and forward. I know it sounds a little confusing, so let's do it again. One more time. Bring the leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes. Lift directly to the side. ankle up, ankle down, knee. Let's go. We're doing 10 of these. I think we can count that as one. So this is number 2. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 3. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. I think that's 5. I'm really starting to sweat. Ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 6. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 7, 8, 9. Last one, ankle up, ankle down, knee. Oh, that is 10. Hip cars going backwards. We got one last round of hip cars going backwards. One last leg. Let's do it. Once again, we are flexing the hamstrings, flexing the glutes, pulling that knee back behind us, feeling the stretch in the hip flexor. We are lifting that leg to the side like we're cool martial artists, going whoosh, giving a little whip and snap with that leg, except not really. From here, we are going to rotate that ankle high as you can. Oh yeah. Rotate it back down. Keep that knee high and finish by bringing that knee to the front. I have a little bit of discomfort here. I think something has to shift when I do this, but it never shifts on that first rep. It takes me a second. So let's do it again. Back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, stretch the hip flexor, lift the leg directly to the side, rotate the ankle up, rotate the ankle down, and bring that knee to the front. There we go. I don't know if you heard it because I talk so much, but I had a big old crack. And now I think I'll be able to get through all of these without any pain. Bring the leg back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. There we go. It's done. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 4. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 5. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 6. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 8. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 9. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. I think possibly we have one more. Let's go. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. Oh, we're done. That is the hip cars. We have worked really hard to try and get maximum range of motion out of that hip joint where our legs get to move around. And we strengthen all our muscles, trying to hit all of those points, rotating the leg a whole bunch, lifting them up a whole bunch, and hopefully your hips feel a little smoother, your muscles are a little bit more awake, and we're ready to move on into exercise number 2. Let's see what's going on in the chat. We got Foxy Roxy, super excited on YouTube. Eduardo is here from Brazil, and he's complimenting my stretchiness. Thank you, Eduardo. I'm gonna come on over to TikTok, and I think I just saw Travel with Roxy go, ooh, good nasty, you're back. Hold on, I'm scrolling. Where did I see that? Lulu says hello. Hello, Lulu. And Che has made it. Okay, scrolling back down. Wow, I don't know how I missed all these chats. I feel like I've gone for like 5 minutes. But there's so many notifications from TikTok. Charles Roxy says, woo, ready to do this. Ganassi says, I'm here. Happy holidays, guys. Happy holidays. Welcome back. And, all right, let's go. PBJ sends a wave. Hello. Okay, let's go. We're moving on into the second warm-up exercise. It is called the elephant walk, and it's a lot more chiller than the hip car, so don't worry. It's not as intense. We are basically just making an L shape with our body. We're trying to fold at the hips, bring the belly button down towards the ground. If you are stuck a little bit higher up, this is the maximum you can get to with your hamstrings. That's a-okay. It's all part of the process. Just try your best to bring your belly button down towards the ground. Whew. Once you're here, hang out for a little bit. Relax. Whew. And keep on focusing on bringing the belly button down just a little bit more. Remember, it's the belly button, not the chest, not the head. That stuff can relax. We just care about the belly button, and we care about the belly button because it's basically right above the hips. So really, we care about the hips, but the belly button is easier to focus on. Then fold your hips forward. Okay. Bring your belly button down to the ground. Oh, okay. That's the difference. Okay. Whew. We've hung out here for a little bit. I hope your hamstrings have tightened up, and then you've hung out for a little bit, so they've also relaxed a little bit. And now you know, if you just hang out for a little bit, they'll chill out too. From here, we are going to bend one knee, straighten the other leg, bend the other knee, straighten the other leg, take a wider position, bend one knee, straighten the other leg, bend one knee, straighten the other leg, bend, 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 bend. Keep on bringing the belly button down towards the ground. Get those hamstrings shifting in your leg, the soft tissue in your legs moving around. It's gonna feel a little weird. It's gonna feel strange. Maybe you'll feel like the muscles in your leg are rubbing against each other. Things will be a little weird, and that is exactly what we want. We want those muscles to be loosened up, warmed up, and getting them moving. All right, we're gonna do this back and forth. One knee, other leg straight, or the other leg straight, keeping on doing that switching. And of course, breathing. Until, I don't know, maybe for another 5 seconds. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, I hope your hamstrings are feeling a little bit looser, because we're gonna move on. We're gonna do some thoracic rotation. We're gonna get into that same position we were just in. I'm just turning around so you can see the next part. Thoracic rotation is all about rotating at the spine. So we're gonna bend one knee, we're gonna straighten the other leg, we're gonna reach the hand across to the straightened leg, push to the outside. So my right leg is straight, my chest is rotating to the right, my right hand is going up into the air, and my left hand is reaching across to help push my chest open. What we're doing is called thoracic rotation. The upper half of your back is getting some good rotation in. It is designed to move well, and we are trying our best to give it some love. So that is it. We are reaching our arms around. We're looking at the hands, so the neck is also rotating. We are rotating that chest out to either side so that we get some rotation from the back. You can try to bring your belly button down low while you do this. It'll completely change your perspective on this exact movement. Oh, and I have absolutely no idea how many we've done, but I was aiming for 6. So I'm gonna pretend this is 6 right here. Number 6. Oh. Okay, that is some thoracic rotation built into our hamstring elephant walk stuff. And I hope your shoulders are feeling a little looser. Maybe your shoulder, these things, were feeling like they were struggling a little bit, pulling your arm back. Maybe the shoulder blades were contracting and pulling back too. Pull your arm back. Maybe that rotation in the spine felt good. However good it felt, I hope you enjoyed it, because that's it. We're moving on. Next is stretch number 3. Warm-up exercise number 3, the Cossack switch. It's a warm-up, but it's actually probably one of the most challenging parts of the whole entire thing. So let's get into it. We're gonna open up our legs. We're gonna point them roughly 45-ish degrees to either side, and we're gonna try our best to drop down onto one side. I want you to, as we drop down, make sure your knees are pointed in the same direction as your toes. The knees are over your toes, so that you're not putting unnecessary pressure in other directions where you're probably not trained. And that would be Not good. Okay, from here, I'm trying to find a good angle for the camera. We are bringing the knees over the toes. We are trying to feel this Achilles tendon stretch. We are trying to stretch out these calves right here. Not the big fleshy part of the calf at the very top. The ear's a hidden second calf muscle underneath, and that is what we are stretching when the knee is bent. You're going to feel some pressure in the front of the ankle, some pressure in the hip. Your quad muscles are firing. That is all good. Now, we're going to try and find a way to squish down and get as compact as possible. I recommend you rotate the legs so that it's pointing a little bit more forward. Your heels might come up as you try to squish down, and that is okay if your heels come up. While we squish, we're going to wait a little bit here in this position, give our body a chance to adjust. On this side, however, this leg is externally rotating, which means the toes are pointing up, the ankle, the heel is down, and the knee is also pointing up. All right, this is called leg external rotation. We need it in order to get our thigh bone out of the way of the hip bone so that we can actually do the side split. In fact, this position right here is super close to a side split just on one side of the body. So now you know we need leg external rotation for the side splits, and you know how to get it. Your toes are up, your knees are pointing up, and your heels are down. Let's move on and get our butts over to the other side to give this squishy treatment to the other hip. Let's go. You can put your hands down, walk your hips over to the other side. We're going to start with that Achilles tendon stretch, feeling the calf stretch underneath that big calf. We're going to feel the pressure in the ankle, pressure in the hip, quad muscles are firing, and then we're going to squish down. If your heels come up, that is a-okay. Rest your hamstrings on top of your calf. Let's really squish down into that hip. On this side, same thing. We're externally rotating the leg, which means the heels are down, the toes are up, and the knees are up. I'm going to say that a lot. Get used to it, I guess. From here, while we talk about squishing, and we squish, we're going to prepare ourselves to do this. Go from side to side. This is what the Cossack switch is all about. We are going to put our hands down, give ourselves a little bit of support as we come over to the other side. The hands can reduce the weight on our legs. The hands can reduce the knees for balance. And the hands can reduce the pressure on our knees. So, if you're just starting out with this exercise, put your hands down. Give yourself a little support and come over to the other side, the dark side. As you get stronger, you can remove your hands. And as you get a lot stronger, you can stand up a little straighter, stick your arms out in front of you, and ta-da! We have done a whole bunch of different variations. If your knees are aching, you can come up to a half squat, come across the other side, and then slowly sink into that stretch. If you are really achy, but you have strong quads, you can come into a standing position, a full-on squatting stand position, and then slowly come back down. Whew. That is a whole bunch of variations. I hope you've remembered one or two that are good for you. And let's get going. If you haven't already started, start. Here's one. Here's two. And three. 4. 5. 6. We're aiming for 10. 7. 8. So if you have started before and you've already done 10, don't worry, you don't have to keep going. I'm just doing a little bit extra. I believe that is 10. Oh, okay. Cossack switches, done. I hope for my regulars, you are feeling real strong after doing them. I hope they're feeling smoother and smoother as you do them. I feel like mine are getting better. Even though I've been doing them for a year, I feel like my hips are getting much deeper in this bottom position, and my chest can stay higher in this bottom position. So, I'm definitely still making incremental progress, a little bit at a time. Whew, okay, that is our entire warm-up. I hope you're sweaty. I hope your heart rate is up, your blood is pumping, because That's what the purpose of the warm up was. And if I haven't done that for you, then we have not succeeded at the warm up. We're going to move on though, and we're going to get into some stretches. I recommend you grab a cushion because we're going to do a hamstring stretch on one of our knees at a time and fold forward like this, trying to bring your belly button down towards the ground. So a little bit of cushioning is nice. If you want, you can replace that with a yoga block. You can replace that with a shoe, a little bit of foam, a dog bed, couch cushion, pillow, whatever you want. Rolled up towel, that's all good. I'm gonna check the chat and I'm gonna grab something to drink because I talk so much, my mouth is dry. Lucecita says, first time I see you. Welcome. Ahu asks, how often am I live? I am live twice a day on the weekends, 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern time, which is 23 minutes ago for 9 a.m. and then 12 hours after that for 9 p.m. But during the regular week, during Monday through Friday, I am live just 9 p.m. So once a day. And that's a good segue too. If you have no idea what you're here to watch, we do 45 minutes of live side split stretching every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community. Because if I have good vibes that I bring to you guys via the internet and you have good vibes you bring into the chat, then we will eventually get to know each other because we are practicing consistency. We are showing up often, getting that workout in, and hopefully with a lot of suffering, with a lot of consistency, we'll make a whole bunch of progress in our side split goals. So if that sounds fun, hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back. We are here every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern, and on weekends, we're also here at 9 a.m. Eastern. Right. Chess says, no, young Jedi. The Force is with you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate the continuation of my dark side joke. Whew, all right. I think... Oh, Che has answered for us every night at 9 p.m., but weekends he's on 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. also. Ahu says, wait, we just started? That was a warm-up? Yes, that was our warm-up, but the goal of the warm-up was to get the muscles warmed up as fast as possible so that we can do the stretches. That was, like, if this was an exercise show, that was the hardest exercise. So you're not feeling crazy about the warm-up. But the stretches are what we were warming up for. And the stretches are a little bit more chill. There isn't as much muscular requirement to finish those. So I think we are ready to get into it. I'm gonna check the chat over here on YouTube. Eduardo says, dia, and I don't really know what that means, but thank you for keeping up the good vibes and sending smileys, Eduardo. I hope you've had your sip of water and you're ready because we're moving on into the hamstring stretch. The way we're gonna set this up is we're gonna drop down to our knees. We're gonna point our hips forward, our shoulders forward, our head forward, and we're gonna extend one leg out in front. Ta-da! Then we're gonna focus on bringing the belly button down to the leg, folding it forward, and it's gonna look a little bit like this. From the side, which probably is the most important, it's gonna look a little bit like this. I want you to try to pull this leg in towards the hip. I don't want you to be extended all the way out like that. I want you to pull that leg in so you're working on that hamstring stretch. And we're trying to bring the belly button down to the thigh. Okay? Whew. Your hamstrings are gonna tighten up. They're gonna be unhappy with you. And that is absolutely a-okay. We're gonna take a nice big deep breath in, inhale, and then we're gonna slowly exhale. And while we exhale, we're gonna try and fold a little bit deeper into the stretch. You ready? Let's go, inhale. Slow exhale, fold. Ooh, your hamstrings are tightening up even more. Maybe your calves are tingly, maybe your toes are tingly. Oh, remember this is about bringing the belly button down, not about your chest or your head, just the belly button. All right, take some normal breaths. Then we're gonna do another. Inhale, exhale. Ready? Inhale. Exhale. Fold. And once you're as deep as you can get, your hamstrings and calves are not happy with you. Let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. We're holding these for 30 seconds, if that wasn't obvious. After me counting down from 30, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, we are done with that one hamstring stretch on that side. We're gonna turn it around, spin move, and continue with the other side. For a second, I had to pause because I couldn't remember which knee I was gonna bring down into the stretch, even though I can still very clearly feel the stretch in the right leg. Okay, right knee is down, left leg is extended forward in front of us. Pull that leg into the hip socket and fold forward. Bring the belly button down to the leg. If you're feeling like you're a little bit off balance, you can widen your stance just a little bit, point the leg out a little bit, and let's go. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Take some normal breaths. Your hamstrings are tight. Oof. Normal breaths. Try to relax. And then we're going to do one more inhale, exhale. Let's go. Inhale. Exhale. Okay. Fold, 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 fold. When you're as deep as you can get for the moment, remember that this is all about the belly button. Once again, not your chest, not your head. Those are different stretches. We're stretching out the upper back. We're stretching out the hips and the hamstrings. Okay, 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. We're almost done. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, man. Come on up out of that hamstring stretch. The cushion we don't need anymore. You can toss it away. Just try not to break anything. And shake it out. Relax those leg muscles. Relax. Grab a sip of water. And let's get ready to get into stretch number 2. I recommend for stretch number 2, which is the butterfly, that you get up to a wall or something really sturdy to lean your back against. It's going to help us stay stable so that we can really focus on the stretch. If you are super flexible already and you can open up your hips and you can fold really far forward in the butterfly stretch and like bring your chest down and your knees are already down, you don't need the wall. You're already way far beyond what I'm showing here. But for the rest of us, mere mortals, let's get our butts to the wall. I'm going to start here in front of this table leg. So you just need to pretend I have a wall behind me. We're going to rest our hips, our shoulders, our head against that solid thingamajig behind you so that it will help keep us stable and upright. We're going to bring our feet in together. We're going to pull the feet in towards us, and we're going to focus on bringing these knees down into the ground. We're going to start by using these outer thigh muscles, the glutes, to use our muscles to bring our knees to the ground first. You're going to start feeling the stretch here in the groin area. It's going to take a little bit of time for you to figure out which muscles you're really working on if this is your first time doing this with muscle power, and that is absolutely a-okay. After you have tried to use your muscles to bring your knees into the ground, I want you to take your hands. I want you to apply a little bit of pressure to the outside, or I guess to the inside of the thighs, and push. When you do this, you'll start feeling more pressure in your upper back, in your head, as they push into the wall, or in my case, the table. And that is basically the wall keeping you from sliding backwards while you push into your legs, so that your force is being directed where it matters, into these hips. Let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27. Remember to breathe. 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. We're almost done. 9, 8. Keep on contracting those muscles. If you've been contracting this whole time, you can relax it for a second and then contract again. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, if there's anything you can take away from this and use for the rest of your life, it is that if you don't have the best butterfly yet, use a wall. Every time. And if you don't believe me, try and do the same exact stretch that you just did without the support of the wall. See if you can get your hips as low, if your back is as straight, if your hips are as high and forward. Ugh. And if you can get there, then you're probably ready to go into a deeper, more advanced version of the stretch. But if you can't, like me, and if you try to apply some pressure into your legs and you start wanting to collapse backwards, then the wall is your best friend. All right, that is stretch number 2, the butterfly. We're gonna move on into the standing pancake. The standing pancake looks a little bit like this. We're opening up our legs, and it doesn't have to be crazy wide, just a little bit is fine. The goal is to fold forward at the hips and bring our hips so far forward, our head, our chest, everything comes real deep down into the ground. That might have looked really impressive from the front, but from the side, I promise I was bending my back and doing this to kind of fake the angle. The goal here is to get all the folding at the hips. The chest and the head is not that important. So focus on folding at the hips. Focus on the belly button and trying to bring it down towards the ground. When we're here, this is going to look just like the elephant walk that we did in the beginning, except our legs are super wide apart. When you are here, that is all we care about. Folding forward, bringing the belly button down. And while you're doing that, you have the choice. If you want, you can widen your stance so you get closer to a side split position. The wider you go, the weaker your legs will probably be, and the more difficult and challenging it will be to hold this position, which is good and is bad. If you can't hold it for long enough, then you'll be really tired and you'll be unhappy. But if you are just barely strong enough, then you'll be strengthening your leg muscles, and that is perfect because we always want stronger muscles. All right? Whew. From here, we got a couple of options. I want you to try to shift your hips back a little bit and extend your arms out in front of you. Breathe and try to relax as you get deeper and deeper into the stretch. That is one variation. The other is to grab your legs and just give them a nice pull. Try to keep your lower back straight while you do this, and you can pull yourself into a deeper stretch. Oh, those are your options. I hope you're ready. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Remember, the goal is to bring the belly button down towards the ground. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, come on out of that stretch. If your inner thighs are on fire, that is normal. If your hamstrings are on fire, it is also normal. Not real fire, not physical fire, just the burning sensation. Oh, that is the standing pancake. And if you're wondering why you're so tired, it's because we put a lot of pressure on the inner thigh muscles, and we put a lot of pressure onto those hamstrings. The inner thigh muscles, their job is to pull your leg in towards the center line. So when you do the opposite, they get stretched out. But on top of getting stretched out, we are hanging out in this position, or this type of position, so they're actually contracting really hard to keep your leg from just flopping out to the sides. So they're stretched and they're working really hard to hold you up. That's good for us because we are trying to strengthen those muscles at all times, and contracting them is one way to get them stronger. But it's going to be very tiring, and by the time you're done with your pancake, your legs are going to be like, what's happening? My legs are jello. The hamstrings connect over here, right below your knee, into the bottom of your pelvis. So if you know your pelvis is kind of like that shaped, they're connected to the very bottom of the pelvis. If my body was not 3D and was 2D, they'd be like connecting from here to here, right? So it's this distance. But the bottom of my pelvis shifts when I stick my butt out behind me, right? The bottom of the pelvis where it connects goes from here to out like here. So it goes from this distance to that distance, and that is your hamstring stretch. The further you pull your bottom of the butt, the sits bones, right, that bony part of your butt, up and away from your knee, the more stretch there is going to be in the hamstring. So if you're ever wondering why the hamstring feels that way, it's because your hips are folding forward. And unfortunately, every single thing that we're doing today, having the hips fold forward, so your hamstrings are activated and doing a lot of work all the time. That is a little bit of anatomy while we rest and recover from the standing pancake. But now it's time to move on into the fourth stretch. We are doing a little bit of pigeon, or figure four, or pigeon. I can't remember what we did 12 hours ago. I think we did. All right, doesn't matter. We're doing pigeon. The pigeon stretch, if you've watched and done enough yoga, looks a little bit like this, and you're probably familiar. We are extending this leg back behind, crossing this leg across the body. Try to aim for 90 degrees, and we're trying to bring the midpoint of the chest down somewhere over the leg. You have a little bit of opportunity for adjustment here depending on how you want to feel that stretch. I usually recommend midpoint of your chest to the midpoint of your leg, but if you have different length legs, none of that is going to be perfectly accurate anyway. We got options. In this pigeon stretch, since our goal is to focus on the outer hip, and I'll demonstrate what that means, when we are in the pigeon, we are stretching out this set of muscles in the bent leg, all right? And it's going to be in the side of the glute, the outside of the hip. When we are doing this version of the pigeon, it doesn't matter if this knee is perfectly straight. So if you are struggling a little bit with flexibility, getting this leg perfectly behind you, don't worry about it. You can keep the knee bent. But if you really want to spend this time working on getting into a better pigeon position, then you got a couple of options. One, we don't have to spend any time in this upright position, right? It is because of this upright position that we're putting a lot of pressure on these hip muscles. So if your goal is to just have the knee behind you, you can stay folded up and flat. This is a perfectly good version of the stretch for your hips, and your leg can also go backwards. If this is also a bit of a struggle for you, you can elevate the front leg. This might not work out so well. So let me see if I can get it to look proper enough. Okay, if you lift the front leg and that hip, basically, you get a little bit more room back here with the leg for you to straighten that leg back. So those are your options. We're doing the pigeon. You can elevate your front leg. You cannot elevate your front leg, and you can just roll over and stay as flat as possible. Or you can just forget about that leg altogether, let it bend off to the side. Whatever it is that you're going to do, go ahead, get into position, and we are going to get started. Remember, ankle across the body. Keep the hips low. Fold forward. Feel that stretch in this hip outer glute area. I hope you're in position, because 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. If it starts feeling like it got a lot easier, push that ankle away from you towards your face. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, that is the pigeon on one side. We're going to switch over to the other side, and we will be done with the pigeon super, super soon. I won't explain nearly as much this time. Get that leg behind you. Feel the stretch here in the outside of the bent leg's hip. Try to push the ankle away from your groin and keep the hips low. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. You also have another set of options. You can relax your head down and feel that stretch that way, or you can try to straighten your back and see if you get a more intense contraction in the hips with a straight back. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, almost done. 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, come on up out of that stretch. Oh, those are some pancakes. I hope you enjoyed that stretch. Every time I finish a pancake stretch, I always go, I should really spend more time in that stretch. It feels really good, but I never do. So I hope there's an opportunity for you to hang out and do some pancake. Sorry, pancake, pigeon, words. All right, with that, we have finished all of the warm-up and all of these stretches that we're gonna do before we do the actual side splits, which means the side splits are up next. The side splits we do a little bit differently than the rest of the show. We do 3 sets of 30 seconds, and we do a little bit of rest in between where we shake it out and we relax our muscles to get them reset as much as possible for the next side split. Before we jump right into those, let's talk about safety for a second. The side split is potentially a little bit scary, and if you lose your balance and you start falling backwards, it can be very, very, very scary. You're trying to swim in place, you're like, no, I don't want to fall. If you were to fall all the way down to the ground, your butt would probably hurt. So let's avoid that. I recommend you stand a couple inches, about 8 to 12 inches in front of something stable that you can lean your back against. In this case, I have a table, and if I were to fall backwards, I can look really cool, like I didn't just fall. But in general, if you had to pick something, I would recommend you get as close to a wall as possible. The wall is not gonna move, it's not gonna bust on you, and you can just rest against it. If you don't have any empty wall space, if you get one item in front, for example, this table in front of the wall, that will also do. A couch will probably be okay. And yeah, the only thing we care about is that if you start falling backwards, you lose balance, you know that you're safe and you're just gonna fall backwards into something potentially a little bit hard, but it will save you from having your butt smash into the ground and having that really hurt. Cool? All right, that is safety. All I did was talk about how your butt's gonna really hurt if you fall, so I'm not sure if that made you feel any safer, but we're gonna move on into the side split. Let's go. We're gonna open up the legs nice and wide. It doesn't have to be uncomfortable in the hips yet or ever. So if you are already feeling pain, discomfort in the hips, come on up, just get a little bit higher. And then fold at the hips, bring that belly button down, facing the ground, put your hands down, and do what looks a little like a push-up. We're not doing the push-up for push-up's sake. We're doing this to put some of that body weight, take it out of the legs, put it into the arms, all right? When you do that, it becomes easier to externally rotate the legs, which is your heels are down, your toes are up, your knees are pointing up, all right? We're doing that on both sides, heels down, toes up, knees up. This position rotates your thigh bones out of the way of your pelvis, your hip bone, and lets us get into more of a split position. You don't need that yoga block. Walk your hands back towards your hips. We're gonna put that weight that we kind of shifted forward right back into our hips, and it's gonna force us into a slightly deeper stretch. From here, once you've caught your breath, do a little wiggle from side to side. See if you can break the friction holding your feet back from a deeper stretch. And once you are as deep as you can get, let's go, 30 seconds, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Walk your hands forward, pull your legs in slowly, and come back into a kneeling position. Chill, relax, breathe for a little bit. Okay, when your legs feel like maybe possibly they're ready to move, come back into standing. We're gonna shake out all that tension we put into the legs. All right, shaking it out, it's gonna look a little bit like this. We're gonna imagine that we just got out of the pool and our legs, our feet are still a little bit wet. We're trying to flick that water off of the body, and that is how I want you to imagine getting into that shaking out of the tension. We're flicking out the legs and helping the muscles to relax. You might feel your calves bouncing around down there. Your ankles should be loose. Your hamstrings are moving a little bit. And shake it out. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. We want to get at least 5 to 10 seconds on each leg. Help those muscles to relax. Add in a little wiggle from side to side as well. It doesn't just have to be all coming from the knee. Add in a little floppy flop from side to side. Get those hamstrings and the quads to shake a little bit. And once your hips and your legs are feeling a little bit more normal, then we're just about ready to get into side split number 2. But before I do that, I'm gonna check the chat. I feel like I have not been back here at all for a while. Ahu says, I love this, but I cheated some as I haven't moved for 20 years. That's okay. It's not cheating, all right? You gotta do what you gotta do in order to get your body moving, get your body working. If you haven't moved in 20 years, you need a little bit of assistance, you need a little bit of help. That is what it is. You're giving yourself a little bit of help. Don't call it cheating. If I make jokes and I talk about things negatively, that's because I'm joking around, right? But when you're talking to yourself, I want you to try to be as positive as possible. And that is because, you haven't moved in 20 years. If you need a little bit of assistance, that is great because you're making progress towards something you haven't done in 20 years, and that's amazing. All right? If I'm joking around and I use like, oh, we're suffering on the ground, which is true, right? Like there's no avoiding the fact that you're suffering a little bit on the ground. That's because I'm trying to be entertaining. But for you, when you talk to yourself about anything that we're doing, yes, it's going to be hard, but try to avoid having, this is going to sound weird, negative vibes towards the act of stretching because you're doing something great for yourself and you should be proud of what you're doing. So keep it up. You got this. All right. I said I was going to come over to the chat, but I got distracted and went down a tangent. Che is working on first of 3 split exercises. Lovely. I just could get back up from the first move. What did I miss? Oh, okay. Ahu has been in and out. My bad. This is what happens when you don't read the chat for a long time and are just popping in and out. Oh, Che, that's so helpful. Thank you for sending people to the YouTube for a little bit more detailed explanations. Let's see. All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming in, rescheduling alarms. I appreciate it. Okay, I think with that, I am going to... PBJ says, just starting counts. Yes, absolutely. Thank you, PBJ. Counts a lot, even better. All right, let's do this. We're getting into side split number 2. I hope you're still sweating, you're still warm, you didn't cool off too much because I was spending so much time looking at the chat. Let's get in front of the wall, get in front of the stable thing that you're gonna fall back on and look really cool when you are off balance. And get ready to do some side splits. Again, we're opening up the legs decently wide. Doesn't have to be crazy, does not have to hurt in the hips. If it is hurting, you can come up just a little bit. Focus on folding at the hips, putting your hands down, doing that little push up if you can. Lean forward so that there's less weight on the legs and more weight in your arms. Then externally rotate the legs so that your heels are down, your toes are up, and your knees are up. Ahoo, you mentioned that you're doing little things to give yourself a little bit of help. The only thing that matters here is that your heels are down, your toes are up, and your knees are pointing up, okay? Nothing else matters. This is the bones getting out of the way of each other so that you can actually do something close to a side split. So, toes up, knees up, heels down. From here, everything else is bonus. We're gonna walk the hands back towards our hips. Gonna put some of that pressure that we moved away right back into our legs. We're gonna do a little wiggle from side to side to get a little bit deeper by breaking the friction holding our feet back. And once you are as deep as you can get, we are ready for 30 seconds of side splits. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22. Remember to breathe, don't hold your breath. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. We're almost done. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, lean forward. Oh, walk your hands out, pull your legs back in, and whoo. Chill for a second. Breathe, catch your breath, relax. When your legs feel like they're ready, try your best to come into standing. We're gonna shake it out. Shake it out. Shake, 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 shake. Pick up the intensity of that shake. Have the ankles flop around, relax. Shake the quads, the hamstrings, wiggle that leg out. Switch to the other side. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. I want you to imagine that your whole body is just jello. You're just wiggling, shaking, flopping, letting all the muscles in the leg relax a little bit. And once you've done that, we're gonna breathe, chill, relax, and prepare for a third side split. But before we do that, let's talk about what we just did. We did 45 minutes of live side split stretching. We do this every day to practice consistency. We do this every day trying to bring good vibes through the internet to have us build a little bit of community. If I bring the good vibes, you bring the good vibes into the chat, then we will inevitably get to know each other, hang out a little bit more, and have a little bit more satisfaction when we suffer on the ground doing these stretches together. Hopefully that community plus consistency helps us make a whole bunch of progress towards our side split goals. And if that sounds fun, if that sounds like something you need, especially if this might become a New Year's resolution or something like that for you, hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back, and we will make some progress towards some side split goals, or at the very least, a whole bunch of hip mobility, because that is really what we're working on. And the side splits is the price. All right, let's go. Time for side split number 3. Get relatively close to whatever you're gonna fall back on. 8 to 12 inches is fine. Open up those legs. Remember, no pain in the hips. All gain, no pain. Okay, walk your hands down towards the ground. Not walk, just place your hands down. Do that mini push-up, put that weight into your arms to make it easier to externally rotate the legs. Your heels are down, your toes are up, and your knees are pointing up. Heels down, toes up, knees are pointing up. From here, walk your hands back towards your hips and sink into that side split. If you are not quite this low and you need a little bit of support, you can always add a couple of books, some yoga blocks, something to get your hands a little bit higher off the ground so that you can get that support as well. From here, we're gonna do one last wiggle from side to side to break the friction, holding our feet back from sliding out, and that's it. We're holding this for 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, almost done, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Walk your hands forward. Oh, pull your knees in. Come into that kneeling position. Oh, breathe. Chill. And when you're ready, come on up. Let's shake it out one last time. Whew. We're going to add a little bit more after the shakes. Whew. So don't leave just yet. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. Move those legs. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Get the quads to relax. Get the hamstrings to relax. Relax those calves, those toes, that ankle. Same on the other side. Flop, 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 flop. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. If you weren't here for the previous 2 rounds, you start sort of by just flicking your legs like you have water dripping off your leg and you're trying to just get it off. Start with that flick, and as you get more comfortable with those motions, you can start picking up the pace, picking up the force, picking up that intensity until your whole body starts feeling and looking like you're made of jello. All right, that is shaking it out. Next up, we're gonna do some focused stuff for the hips. We're gonna pop into a little bit of a squat position. We're gonna come onto the balls of our feet, which is the part of your toes, or part of your feet just behind your toes. And we're going to keep the pelvis, the hips in the same place. We're gonna rotate this leg in and out. We're trying to loosen up some of the muscles here in that hip. So rotate your knee in, rotate your knee out. Notice how the rest of the body is not moving. All of the movement is coming from this leg at the hip joint. We're just doing a couple of these, working the muscles here in the hip. And if you've done 3 or 4, we're good to go. Move on to the other side. Pop into that squat. Again, you're coming around the balls of your feet, rotating at the bone level between the hip and the thigh. Nothing else is moving. In and out, and in and out. If you've done 3 or 4, then you're good to go. We're ready to move on. I want you to imagine that you're playing hacky sack. If you don't know what that is, you're like kicking a little ball and you're trying to balance it off your ankle, off the foot. And I want you to lift that leg up a little bit just to get that part of your hip going. I don't know if you've watched other people who are really good at playing hacky sack and like other sports. They can like externally rotate and kick the hacky sack with accuracy with the back of their leg like this, and they'll just go flying straight up like they have real skills. And I want you to imagine that you're doing something similar. I want you to rotate the hip and lift the heel. Just get a little bit of extra motion in those hips. Whew. And finally, once we've worked on that a little bit, loosened up the hips, because they were really struggling pulling our legs into that side split, we're gonna do a couple of joint checks. What we're gonna do is a couple of hip circles. Take them nice and slow. Get that full range of motion. If anything feels weird, go ahead, spend a little bit of extra time on it. Then we're gonna do some knee raises just to make sure everything feels good. We're gonna pop into a squat, fold at the hips, bend at the knees, fold at the ankles, put some pressure on all those joints, and then try to do a little bit of a calf raise. If you can do all of that with nothing feeling extra weird, feeling painful, then we've checked the joints. They're working how they're supposed to. So we are all wrapped up and done for today. I'm gonna come over to the chat. I'm gonna grab a cushion and I'm gonna finally review what has been happening while I've been way back over there doing some stretches. Thank you everybody for coming in. Thank you for practicing the live with me. I hope you feel good. I hope your hips feel good. I hope you're feeling a little bit more mobile, and I hope you enjoyed the workout. We do this every day for 45-ish minutes. I think we're running a little bit long. We're already at an hour and change, but keep coming back. We practice consistency every single day, trying to build a little bit of community to make it a little bit more fun to hang out with other people as we do the side splits. And hopefully those two things combined, consistency, community, makes it a whole bunch easier to make progress in our side split goals and towards hip mobility. If you had fun, hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back, because we'll be here. Actually, I'll be back in like 11 hours, so I'll see you really soon if you want to be back. But if you don't want to come back in 11 hours, I'll be back in 23 hours. And if that's confusing as heck, 11 hours, 23 hours, 9 a.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Eastern on the weekends. Usually it's 9 p.m. Eastern and just one. Cool? All right, Che, see you soon. Ganowski, thank you for coming. PBJ, thank you for adding in some positivity for me. And I'm gonna scroll back up. I'm scrolling backwards, so I'm gonna respond to things in reverse order, but I hope that will be okay. Ahu sending hearts to PBJ. Just starting counts. It's true. It does. Going from 0 to 1 is the hardest thing. If you've never done something before, getting started is a massive amount of change. When you've done something before, doing that second rep, going from 1 to 2, that's 100% change, right? If we want to be mathematical about it. But from 0 to 1, that is infinite change. It is really, really hard to start. But as you go from, 99 to 100, it's a tiny, tiny amount of change. You've done it before, you're a pro, you're experienced. It's an easy next rep. But 0 to 1 is really hard. And you should be proud of yourself for starting. Okay. I don't think I missed very much in the chat after that last time I popped back in. So I'm going to just do a quick scroll to see if there's anything that I just very clearly missed way before. And we'll wrap up if there isn't. Che says, can you saw us the wall option for the pancake one? Ooh, Che, if you're still on, yes, we can absolutely do the wall version of the pancake. I'm going to swing this camera over. Dust off my pants because I've been sitting on the ground. I don't want to get the white wall too dirty with my butt. For the pancake, usually we do the standing pancake, right? And it looks a little bit like this, maybe deeper. To make an easier version for yourself, you can lean your butt against the wall so that you have that tripod, and you can fold forward at the hips. You'll still feel the pancake stretch from the hip part where gravity is pulling you down or you are pulling yourself down. But because your butt is resting against the wall, these muscles, the adductors, are not firing as hard to keep you in position. So the difference is, instead of doing it free floating, and it's hard to see because depth perception is kind of confusing from this angle, but if your butt is not against the wall, your muscles, the adductors, are firing really hard to keep you from falling down. But if you rest your butt against the wall, they're firing a little bit less, and it lets you chill a little bit more in the stretch. I hope that makes sense. And the higher you are, the less energy you're using in the adductors to keep you upright or keep you not falling over. Does that make sense? Because if it doesn't make sense, I'll explain it again and try to use different words. Whew. Okay. Lucicita says, you explain so good. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Lucicita with the excitement. Oh my God, I want to do that too. Thank you. I appreciate it. I don't know what you were talking about, but amazing. Keep up the good energy. It is awesome. Che has said more on his YouTube to see longer videos. Yes, I got a couple of videos on YouTube, and they do a little bit more explaining. If you are short on time on any given day and you can't make it to the live, but you do want to do this workout, I have a long form video. It's about 13-14 minutes, and it is this exact workout, except there's zero explanation, there's zero rest. You just go boom, 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 right through the video, and you get the entire workout in a lot less time. It's also a lot less fun because you don't get to hang out and you don't get to see other people. But if that's what you need, that is available over on YouTube. The account is called @splitsontheside, is the same as on Instagram and TikTok. So you can go ahead and check that out. Let's see. Lucicita says it is 7:28 p.m. for her. Thank you. That was super helpful. Okay, so 7:28 p.m. That means it was 10:28. So you're in the Pacific time zone, right? 3 hours prior. Cool. Right. Tiffany has updated the alarm. Oh, I'm sorry. Tiffany, I think you were here this morning when I told you about the 9 a.m. show. Or sorry, last night when I told you about the 9 a.m. show, and I didn't make it clear what time zone we were in. So, yes, I'm glad you have adjusted the alarm for the time zones. Okay. Yes. That is the time zone stuff. We are all set here. And I think that means I am ready to scroll back down to the bottom of the chat because I have covered everything else. Scrolling. Che says thank you. Ahu says thank you. Charles Arxie says thank you. Lulu says thank you so much. I see you tomorrow. All right. Thank you, everybody. I am ready to wrap up because I think we've covered everything in the chat. It's just thank yous now. So we are going to say goodbye, and I'll see you, if you're ready, in about 11 hours or 23 if you need to take a little bit more of a break. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye. Yeah.